Hold on. We're going to try this again. Hold on. Okay, I think I got it. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Snow Talk, everybody. I'm wave meteorologist Brian Good. All right. Hi. Welcome to the Snow Globe Day. Everyone having a good day so far? This is our chance to talk about snow. I'm right on cue with the winter forecast lining up. We've had something to talk about. But as you're about to see, this is about the only thing we're going to talk about. There's not much coming our way for a while. So soak it up here, snow lovers. Good test run. Grease the wheels. See how we're doing. Make sure we're doing all right. I don't know if we can still make snow angels or not, but we'll try. All right, let's get right into the snowboard. We'll start with that. And it is our main item today, snow showers. And yes, at times, some snow squalls coming into the area that we're going to be tracking throughout the day today. As we got this snowy setup here across wave country. All right. Hello, everyone. Again, here's what we're going to do. So that's the only item on the board. So that's pretty easy. Several things I do need to run down the list, though. As always, you guys can comment. Already seen several of your comments. It has already been one of those mornings where some of the snow squalls have caused problems, including a 3-car crash that was near West Point, Kentucky today. And unfortunately, there has been a fatality from that crash. Slick roads were reported. Don't know if these official calls or not, but I know that that was a factor, at least in some aspect of the crash there this morning with some of these snow showers. And several areas, including around Reen Road, there into E-Town, had some issues too with it becoming slick. So we're going to be dealing with this throughout the rest of the day today. These snow squalls moving through, reduced visibility, roads become slick, and you may very well end up with some sun shining right back on you again 5 minutes later. The exception is going to be Indiana, probably a little tougher to get a lot of sun there, but Kentucky, it'll be back and forth all day between these snow showers and squalls rolling through. So let's take it one step at a time. Let me start off. That's a live look right there into Corydon, Indiana. It's been a steady snow. This is the core of the low itself. So when you're closer to this core low pressure, as you'll see in a second on radar, that is where you will hold on to the steadier snow throughout much of the day today. It may not be enough to overpower the ground, given that environment, to where the roads would be impacted in a big way. But the sidewalks, you see some of the cars have been covered up, some of the grassy areas, the mulch, typical stuff. The snow squalls, which should be a little more for Kentucky, it will not snow as often as what you will have here with the core of the low. But when you do get snow, you can overcome the warm ground and the roads, and you end up with traffic accidents everywhere. So I'm not sure which is better. Snow lovers don't know which one you prefer, but travel, obviously, the squalls are the bigger worry. All right, so that's what it looks like there. I'm just going to see if we had it's kind of a blown out image, so I apologize when you see this, but that's the weather garden right now. You can't, you can see it snowing if you look toward the tree base there, but the image is blown out, and I don't have any ability to control that right now. But anyway, yeah, it's snowing here in downtown Louisville as well. Probably snowing where you're at. Type 1 if you got snow right now. Type 3 if you got snow on the ground. And then type 4 if it's sunny and 70 where you're at. Somebody watching it is. All right, so we got these squalls rolling through. This is going to be our baby for the rest of the day today. On how long these will be sticking around for, which looks a little bit limited to really just the daytime period overall. We have not moved much on temperature, holding steady. Anywhere from 25, 26 to 28 has been the range. It's going to be really tough here. I keep shaving off a degree or two of the highs every time I get another round of data coming in. I'm like, could this be a sub-freezing day in November? Maybe. Even if it did hit freezing, it'd be only for like an hour or two, or even above it in an hour or two at best. And otherwise, we'll just drop back down again. So this is a very cold setup here today. Although it definitely mimics what came up on my timeline on Facebook yesterday, which was 2013 to the date. 2013 to the date, we had a warm spell, 60s, very warm air, and then we had snow on a Monday and a Tuesday, and very cold air with low of 18 degrees. I mean, not too far off, right? But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So these temperatures today, with them not warming above freezing, they'll be close enough, especially when the sun comes in between these snow squalls, that it will allow for melting. My concern is one thing that will be missing tomorrow, late tonight and tomorrow, will be the wind. The wind will not be as strong. So now we got this odd crossover. Did the snow showers end in time for the roads to dry up for what wind is left? And therefore, obviously, you don't have any moisture in the roads. You don't have to worry about slick spots. Or does the snow continue to fall all the way through sunset and melt? And therefore, we get some of that seeping out into some of the roadways, sidewalks, and therefore we end up with slick spots into the overnight hours as they may not be treated evenly across the area. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's kind of the balancing act we're working on today, on when does the snow end and the wind speed decreasing. It's kind of our battle here on determining how really impactful these events can be at night. But we've already seen today, as I mentioned, already today it's been a problem, and we've already got a fatality today because of slick conditions. So it's the whole point we try to do with these alert days, and whether it's even just not an alert day, just blogs in general, right? Just we talk about this often, so we try to bring up all these little hidden dangers that can sneak in these kind of systems. But we know that we run into problems around here in this scenario many times, and it's mainly just because we just don't see it evenly spread out in the same weather conditions. So you're thinking that if it's okay in Louisville, you travel to E-Town, you're expecting to be okay in E-Town, and then you run into slick roads there. So just treat it at any spot in the area today is going to be at risk for some slick travel at times. Not all the time, but at times. Okay, so that's the current temperature. The wind still blowing outside. Current gust 25 at times, 25 to 30, especially in central Kentucky where the sun's trying to come out. Problem with that, creates the wind chill. Feels like 15 right now in Louisville. Feels like, 19 is into Haley. Do we have the coldest wind chill? We do. We have the coldest wind chill right now in Louisville at 15. It doesn't happen very often. Okay, so here's the radar view showing the two different things that are happening here, and this will be our theme for the rest of the day. You've got your obvious spin, the vortex, that is dropping down, looks like it's right over Salem right now. Very potent low pressure. You can see the spin to it. On the southern side, we have to look at this just like we would in terms of spring weather and summer weather and producing thunderstorms on the southeast side. Same idea with this is that you can get not only snow squalls, but you can actually get thunder snow in some cases with this setup today. Right now, it's going to be wherever you get the southeast track. So I'm thinking it's going to be anywhere in central Kentucky, all the way through, especially southeast Kentucky, all the way through Lexington and Frankfort. This is the spot I think we need to watch for some more additional snow squalls that could cause some problems. today. When it comes to localized quick 1 inch of snow, half inch to 1 inch, and then you end up with okay. There's see the wavy just popped in. Snow accumulating on the grass and Pioli. All right. Thank you for the MPing report, whoever sent that in. You can see the secondary batch, which will be into Louisville here a little bit later. I'll show you in a second. That'll be moving in from the north as well. But it's our snow squall potential is going to be really limited to right through here in central Kentucky especially. What is a snow squall, Maria asked? Snow squall is basically a small thunderstorm with snow. Now, they don't always have lightning, but they have that intensity of a quick downpour that you drive through the, in the Indianapolis. Looks like they extended the advisory. Let me see if I can click on that. Did I have that loaded? I may not. Let me pull that up and see if they included in some of our counties that were missing. Looks like they did. Yeah, they filled it all in. So Lawrence, Jackson, and Jennings, you guys are now included. Carroll as well. So they just kind of filled everybody in, which is really easy to do that to begin with, right? Okay, so snow squalls, though, are just the same thing as the heavy downpours in the summer. You just get it with snow. And you have that same back and forth nature of sunshine to downpours with snow, and then back to good visibility again. But at the time that the visibility hits, if you get to about a quarter mile visibility or lower, or you get a wind gust around, say, 34 miles per hour, that's when you get into snow squall warning level. Most of the activity that I see today does not quite get us to that point, but one or two could, but most will not. It looks pretty isolated if we were to get one. I'll show you the parameters coming up in just a second. But either way, impressive there. Another NPM reports, snow in Bloomington, Indiana, coming in. Thank you, Wavy. Wavy. We knew Wavy was going to get a workout today, and Wavy has certainly been busy. All right, let me show you a couple of the radar views. And I know you guys are going to have some questions on specifics. So let me get this out of my system. I've explained the scenario and all the data that we're looking at, and then I'll get to your questions, and hopefully I'm going to answer this. You can see the darker purples. That is more accumulating the roads and sidewalks. Sorry, Bloomington again. Across, say, central Kentucky, what is that? Greensburg, Campbellsville. You got a moderate snow shower heading right to you. You should see decent flakes anyway coming down, if not already. E-Town, you just had a nonstop, and now you're getting the lighter snow. You're getting the low pressure snow now moving into Hardin County. After several rounds of snow squalls, you're getting some of the lighter snow. So very much a winter wonderland in that area. MP's on a field day today. Sorry. If it gets a little loud, let me know and I'll turn it down. I don't want to bust y'all's eardrums out. Meanwhile, into south of E-Town, you see some of the sun in the distance. Look at the side of the road, though, on I-65. You can see the previous snow squall, what it did, cold to the ground. It did cover up I-65 while it was falling and then immediately melted. And that's the thing. It does immediately melt in many cases, but when it is falling, it accumulates. It can overwhelm a warm ground. We've said this so many times over the years, and that's when you run into problems for just that moment that you're driving through. And hopefully it passes on by and you get an improved condition right after that. But these squalls have a kick to them for sure today. You can look into Louisville. The radar is, I can always see the full gamut there on the snow side, but it looks like we at least have some steady snow falling in Oldham County, Fern Creek, J-Town, Mount Washington, into Okolona, at least flurries in Okolona. A little bit more of a steadier snow back into, again, Harrison County. So it is snowing in the metro right now. Road temperatures have been coming in 39 degrees in Indiana, 31 in Harrison County along I-64, 38 in the East End, but that's one of the flyovers on the Snyder. And same with the Waterston, it's one of the flyovers at 42. So most of the flyovers right now, or not the flyovers, excuse me, the pavement ones, the flyovers are the ones like Lanesville and to the west are the ones that are showing temperatures closer to 32. The ones on the ground level have dirt underneath them, basically. Not quite to the point yet where they're going to lock up and freeze up in the core of the metro. We're not seeing that yet. But as we get into tonight, again, any moisture that's still out here on the area roads, the Gene Snyder / Gene Slider, if it runs into problems with some icy patches tonight, it'll be found in this evening. It won't take long after sunset for that to develop. But be careful, especially outside of the metro. I think that's where the biggest issues will remain, whether it's Breckenridge, Meade, Hardin County, Nelson, especially any areas that have terrain. You go up and down hills a lot, you're going to run into just some slick areas. So just pay extra attention. The winter weather advisory has been issued because of really impact, not so much snowfall amount of it being a huge snow. It's just we're getting these little spurts at times with freezing temperatures. It may not get as much attention in January, but in November it gets a lot of attention. All right. Let me get into areas just west of Louisville. The snow extends all the way back into areas of Perry County, Indiana, south of Du Bois. This batch, if this holds together, should continue to build right through Breckenridge, Meade, and again, right into Hardin County. Hardin County, you guys are in a good spot today. It's going to be quite the snow globe. You go north of Louisville. This is where Louisville's snow. I mean, we're getting light snow now. If we get any sun breaks in the center of the spin here, almost like an eye of a hurricane, if you will, if we get any sun breaks, that may promote some snow squalls near the city this afternoon. That would probably be in about 2 hours from now if it's going to happen. Otherwise, this will be the back edge of the snow right here in Indianapolis. That band, which will likely be the majority of the accumulation of what we'll ever get, will curl around and drop south into Indiana into Louisville. That should be roughly, I would say, 2 o'clock today, maybe 3 o'clock, that will be passing through. So once we get into after 3 o'clock, Indiana, you should calm down completely. And then Kentucky may take until about 5 to 7 o'clock to see everything relax on the Kentucky side. But in many cases, this is, again, a daytime snow that we're looking at here into wave country. And it's all with this little potent low pressure. It's diving to the south and to the east. You can see that swirly queue. They did extend the advisory a little more west. Good call on that, because you can tell some of these bands are trying to build a little more west. But I mean, this thing has got temperatures above our head right now that are, 50 to 60 below zero. It's really cold air above us. So it's a reason why the ground's still able to have enough rising motion and warm up in November. The sun angle is getting lower, yes, but there's still enough warming going on in advance of this that it's really making it a very dynamic system. And that's where you get these squalls, and you get, even some cases, you can get lightning to be mixed into this bad boy as it sags down to the south and to the east. Here's a look at the visible satellite, which is going to be one of the reasons why, again, I think the squalls will be a little more common where the sun's out here in central Kentucky. And I'm not seeing as much clearing right now in Indiana that would drop down into Louisville in the center of the spin. If I see that change, I'll let you know, but right now I don't. So I think this area in central Kentucky does look good on the squall potential. Let me show you the HRRR model, how this is going to play out. And you'll see that we get to 1 o'clock. It's already got the center of it roughly moving into Louisville, and the backside is already dropping down. So we get to 3 o'clock. There's the backside you saw in Indianapolis. That's what it will look like when it's over us at 3 o'clock today. And then by this evening, or it's out of here fast. And then tomorrow morning, there's another wave of moisture that moves in. I'm suspecting how much moisture is going to survive in this return flow. I was a little worried it could be something snowy with that. There could be flurries in the morning, but now it looks like it may warm enough that we may not have to worry about that. But we'll monitor that little sneaky surge of moisture tomorrow morning about this time. Stay tuned. Snow in Owensboro, Kentucky. All right, let me show you. Let's see. Here is the snow squall parameter. Let me take that full screen. Whoops, no, we're not. Yeah, we are. And you can see this is the NAM on the left, and you've got the GFS on the right. Both of them have a parameter that's elevated. NAM, as usually the case, has it more aggressive right over against central and southern Kentucky down into Tennessee, which makes complete sense because it's all ahead of the spin of the low. That's where it matters. And the GFS is a little more generic with it, just because it's not as sunny compared to what the NAM has, a little more convective. So, but anyway, they both have it. So that's the reason why we're going to be monitoring that throughout the day today. Okay, let me show you the lows tonight, and I'll get some of your questions. Did I have the snow map in here? I didn't even put the snow map in. What is wrong with me? Hold on. Let me do the snow map first. The main map you guys are waiting on. But don't get too excited. It's a pretty generic map, to be honest. There you go. Real exciting. You were expecting what? a band of 6 to 10 inches, weren't you? That's what you're hoping I was going to have painted across Wave Country. I know you guys. This is a very light snowfall. Most of you, it's certainly under an inch. But I did change. We had up to an inch for a while on our graphic when we were creating this last week, and we went back to less than an inch. And then today I switched it back to up to an inch. Why? Because of the snow squalls. I think the snow squalls can easily get you up to an inch of snowfall with rapid melting that takes place. The general light snow with a low pressure will be less than an inch to up to maybe a half inch in some areas, but I don't think that has enough kick to get you up to the 1 inch mark compared to the squalls that can do. But both of them are light. They're both light. All right. It's not a big snow. But as we always say, around here, temperatures in the 20s, especially staying below freezing potentially for a good 36 hours, it's going to get slick at times, especially bridges and overpasses for sure. We had 2 schools that delayed this morning. Wouldn't surprise me. We may run into a few more delays tomorrow, but that is not my choice. So I will leave that alone. Michelle, is anyone in the contest? I checked. There are 11 people that have today selected. 4 of the 11 have 1 inch. The others have all higher amounts. So, yeah, I mean, it's got to be Ollie International. It's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. Okay. So anyway, that's your snow map. It looks minor, but it's already caused problems today. So I don't want to make light of this at the same time. I really want you guys to take it slow and just use some common sense and traveling in winter. And I'm really speaking to the other people you'll see on the road and not you, because I know you guys are smart enough. You know what to do. But you all know it's the other people that you got to watch out for that are not paying attention, that drive too fast or get to a bridge and overpass, start sliding, and they don't know what to do when they get into a slide. And then it just all tumbles from there. So please just pay extra attention more than you normally would in this setup, because we didn't have pre-treatment down. There's not a lot of talk right now about salt trucks rolling out because pavement temperatures have been up. Will they roll out salt trucks this evening? Nah, I wouldn't be surprised. They may. If we continue with these snow squalls, they may do that to make sure there's no problems with school later on tonight. So just, again, just take it slow out there. Snow in Campbellsville. Common sense isn't common. Thanks, Gary. Yeah, good point. Good point. Thank you, Sean. Leave space for the bigger trucks on the roads. You're right. You're right. Give them the room, because if they run into a problem, you have a better chance to react than they do. So make sure you allow plenty of distance. And braking too, especially getting off of the ramps, whether it's even accelerating onto the interstate, but even decelerating off the interstate to get to the exit ramp. You don't know if we've had a snow burst that came through 20 minutes before then and it coated that ramp and it melted a bit. There could be some ice at the very end of that. So just ease down toward the stop sign or red light at the end of the ramp there. Don't wait till the last minute and slam on the brakes. Oh, I'm hibernating today. Yeah, I wish I could. Although I worked the early shift today, so I don't have much longer to go. And I'm already half asleep, I think. But I'm ready to cuddle with Dobie and be under the blankets on a cold, snowy day. Sounds awesome for me. Sometimes we got to have those moments. I just wish it was a Friday. If it was a Friday, it'd be even better. Will Louisville be done with the snow by 5 p.m.? It's going to be close to 5 p.m., Austin, probably entering that window, but a majority of it will be on before end. When's the dog coming back? He's got his Christmas sweater on, so he's ready to go, but that really stressed him out that day. I'm not that he loved being here, but he was so tired that day, so I don't want to wear him out. Okay, snow in Shelbyville. NPM reports continue to fly in. All right, talk about the cold. These are actual numbers tonight, 25. So, I mean, not far from where we are now. 20 into Shelbyville, 19 Corden. But again, the wind, while it will still be breezy, it will not be as strong as we've had in the past 36 hours. So because of that, the wind chills will not look as brutal as we get into tomorrow, but still in the teens area wide. 19 here in Louisville, 14 into North Vernon, 13 into Bedford. And if you were to get a little coating of snow, say some spots get a half inch on the ground before the sun sets and it maintains on the grass as we get colder this evening, you could be much lower, not only the wind chill, but the actual number forecast overnight tonight. So we'll see how that plays out. All right. After this, we get into a warm setup, of course, rapid warming. You see the fuel building in the plains. This is where your thunderstorms will set up for the end of the week and the weekend. However, the problem here is it's not just a strong low pressure that races northeast, which would certainly spell a severe weather episode for the country. It looks like an area of low pressure moving through Canada. Here's the front, and then another area of low pressure in Texas that is tagging along. So two low pressures kind of sharing the front, if you will. That cuts down on your severe potential. It really limits it to more of the southern low would be more of a problem. And that would mainly stay to our south if this were to hold for this weekend into areas of the deep south and leave us alone with just a wall of wind and rain. And then we would cool down, but not overly drastic with anything cold. We got to see a little bit more of a blocking pattern to come back to get the cold to dip back down. Don't see that in the extended for now, but we do have several strong systems coming off here, the Rockies. But as I've mentioned, when you start seeing strong low pressures like this come off the Rockies like this, you're going to end up with warm surges for a while until we get back to a blocking pattern and they have more of a backlash, cold attacks, and snow again. But for at least a bit in November, we'll be dealing with probably the warmer side of things, of showers and some thunderstorms before we see a flip. No, December still has a cold look to it, late November into December. And that has not changed yet, although the new long-term data comes in tonight. So I'm going to take a gander and see. Let's get right into the 10-day and get some of your questions. If you got any. 34 today. I'll see if I need to trim that even more. 25 tonight. All right, there we go. 60s to 70s. 70s Friday and Saturday. And then cooler 50s, which is actually below normal, but a little closer to normal down the road. Not a bad looking 10-day, really, once we get past today. Let's see. Carrie, I saw your question. That's a long-winded answer I'll have to give for that one. But yes, there are going to be pressures in other parts that will balance it out, but I don't have a pressure map. If I had one loaded, I would show and answer your question. But remind me when I show that map, you'll know what part I'm talking about when I get to it, to come back around to your question again, and I'll explain more of how these all balance out. Hey, Maria, I hope you're doing all right. I need to drive from Southeast Kentucky to Hebron today to get to the Cincinnati airport. Really, from here on out, snow showers and squalls will be an issue at times. I think not officially in Cincinnati airport, but north of there is, I think their snow total is right now at, I want to say 4/10 of an inch. Indianapolis is, I believe, at 3 or 4/10 of an inch as of last check. So, I'm sorry, did I say Maria or is it Marla? I think it may be Marla. Sorry, I can't read it. If it is Maria, let me know, but it looks like both on the screen. Either way, Miss Lewis, just be careful traveling. It won't be frozen roads to where you can't get anywhere. But when you see the sky darken and you start to see one, it looks like a thunderstorm, really, and you see the snow increase, just take it slow out there and you should be in good shape. All right, so be careful. Do you think Louisville's going to get an inch or no? Well, if I knew that for sure, I would, I make my job a lot easier. I think the potential for Louisville to get to 1 inch is going to be tough, only because of the lack of squalls right now that I'm seeing that would move into the metro versus our central Kentucky counties a little more likely. This general snow that's moving in, it will likely coat the ground in many spots in Jefferson County if it hasn't already in some spots. We'll call these roof duster, the deck duster. We have all kinds of nicknames for these things. But the second batch drops out of Indiana, maybe the majority of the accumulation, and that probably would be like 1/10 to 1/4. So I don't see enough moisture right now to get to the 1 inch. The squalls would be the best way if you want that 1 inch total to get there. And Central Kentucky right now stands a better chance to see that. Braden, I got your question on the snow gas. I think I did anyway. Airports always tough to measure. Yeah, airports are always tough to measure. Although we have a snowboard. We have a snowboard here in the weather garden too. But, we're quite warm in downtown as well. So it's a little tough to get snow measured here in the weather garden. But I'm ready to go just in case. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I just wanted to at least touch base today with you all on the snow squalls and showers moving through. Make sure to keep checking back in with us as we head throughout the day. If you start to get some issues on the roads, or it's sticking to your neighborhood roads, or you notice some interstates that are getting snow covered, let us know. You can always send me Facebook, an X message, anything like that. Just send it to us, tag us in it, whatever the case is, or you do it through the Wave Weather app, even better. And we'll see those on the Wave Weather app almost instantly. And we can share those on TV too later today. So we want you to have fun today. Enjoy these first little flakes of snow and whatever minor accumulation you can get. But for snow lovers, we'll take it. This always gets us fired up. We need this. We all really need this mentally. I feel like to kind of have a boost into the holiday season. Everyone's going to put up their Christmas tree today, I got a feeling. And then we'll be in shorts by Friday. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. You all take care. I got to run and get ready for the midday show and check on the radar trends as well for the rest of the day here. Okay. I will see you guys coming up at 11 a.m. You all take care. See you all on the flip side.